move over here, just so I don't have to have so much stuff. But good morning. Good morning, yes, thank you for saying it back. I'd like to start by acknowledging the Yagara and Turrbal people of the land of which we're on today, and pay my respect to elders past and present. I'd like to start by saying thank you to Mara and her team for having us all here today, to make this event possible every month, and also shout out to any queer people that are here today. You are acknowledged, respected and valued, so thank you for coming. I'd also like to dedicate this chat to Dr. David Hardy, who was a past member of our choir and unfortunately passed last year. He was a Wiradjuri man, and past president and life member of Brisbane Pride Choir. And this year we're sharing our 25th anniversary of the choir, and David wrote a fabulous history of who we are, and I hope that I can do as much for the community as he did. So what have I learned about Pride? Today I'm going to share a few stories about me and some lessons so that we can, just to explore Pride. There we go. That was meant to be up for the whole time, so that's okay. That's me as a drag queen, my little persona, Anna. I won't say my surname. My safe drag name is Anna Banana, so yeah. Anna Lingus. Yes! So there can be days that go by where I don't even remember that I have a disability or that I'm gay, because my life's just in flow. I'm living my life with a lovely boyfriend who is this guy here in the red, and hanging out with some 5-star individuals who see beyond my labels. I'm a proud gay disabled man living here in Brisbane. Stepping into a world where my identity is embraced is something that I cherish. And we still do have moments of adversity. Personally, I think life has gotten a lot better for me. And I can tell you it hasn't always been this way. And while I'm excited that times have changed and continue to change, I hope that for the better and for others, we can keep progress happening. A leader knows when you need to take a step forward and celebrate and continue to drive for better. So I'd like you to meet little me. That's Johnny. I was born with partial Barter syndrome, which means that my mum and dad had to work their asses off to keep me alive as a baby. I've got a fused vertebrae, born with some holes in my heart, and have very short left arm, hello, and only have 9 fingers, but that hasn't really stopped me from living my life. Growing up in school, it wasn't my gayness that worried me, but my disability. Remembering kids in the playground, learning their words and learning their weapons, and understanding that othering people was a power that they had, and a power that I had to learn to control. It meant that I had to go and find some places outside of school that brought me joy, and where I could flourish. So that brought me to my first lesson in Pride. Find where you fit. Some kids did team sports, but due to my absolute inability to catch a ball and my gay wince when people threw a ball to me, some sports were not something that I was going to be doing. I joined Scouts when I was 6 years old and became a Joey Scout and moved all the way through Cub Scouts, Rangers and Rovers. I really enjoyed the environment where I was learning and able to prove to myself that I could be an individual and not follow the crowd, but also use my initiative and manage some people and get the respect back that I didn't always get from my school friends. In 2014, I was so into leadership in Scouts that I became a member of the board of Scouts Australia. In 2014, I was elected to be the chair of this group here, and these guys actually voted me in as the chair. Suddenly I spent every second weekend travelling to different cities across Australia, seeking meetings talking about strategy and operations of Scouts. In that role, I led this lovely group of people, and we were able to finalise over 50 projects that led to the new direction of the program for young people across the country. We supported the young people to join the conversation on a national youth strategy, not just with Scouts, but also with government. There was a lot of surveying, interviewing, and young people across the country. Lesson 2, make your voice heard. Being the voice of young people really taught me that everybody does have an opinion, and they'll be honoured if you ask them for theirs. Once, one of the most critical pieces of policy that I wrote that I was able to get passed was to increase the voice of young people on our National Council. While my voice was loud and had reason, I knew that everyone wasn't being represented in the way that they needed to be, and it was time to give more young people an opportunity to have a say of a program that was meant to be designed with young people at the centre. Through championing, campaigning, promoting policy change, I was able to increase participation of young people on our peak decision-making body from 2% to 10%. And this taught me that representation matters and that my actions had impact. Imagine a world where every organisation increased their participation of youth by just 8%, or where every organisation increased their representation of LGBTIQA plus people to 10%. Change LGBTIQA plus people to neurodiverse, physically disabled, First Nations, migrant women, I could go on. Representation matters, and whether it be Pride or any other marginalised community, increased participation in decision making is critically important for our world to change. Representation matters. By increasing our representation, we bring our full selves, and we bring all of us. I was able to see young people challenge 100-year-old theories on youth engagement, lead discussions, and lead change. The change was so important when I took on my next role at Scouts as the Assistant National Commissioner for Youth Program, and I was able to have even more success. I was able to redirect what Scouting was for young people. Working with our team, we rewrote the playbook for what Scouting is. The research and projects that we worked on at the National Youth Council were being used as the foundational material for what we would build to be our new youth program, which was a lot of work. On top of that role, I was also, of rebuilding the program, I was also an advisor to the National Environment team here. We were meeting in Hobart, the National Diversity Inclusion team, and all of our major events that we run. I was also responsible for each of our section teams. The heads of Joeys, Scouts, Cubs, Adventurers, Rovers, all chatted me once a month to discuss progress in our program. Even more of my weekends taken and used to service the increased voice of young people in their program. I also got to champion this really cool thing and head global programs at Scouts Australia, which was a dream job. Oh yes, we're in the right photo, very good. I championed new global programs in Australia with the dream of using young people's ability to embrace change and dedicate hours of service and time toward peace. In 2017, we were able to reach 1 billion service hours internationally for peace, and now have recorded 2.7 billion hours of peace through the Scout.org platform. With my international colleagues and promoting this program in Australia, it was one of the coolest parts of me becoming a commissioner and being able to see the impact that we had on local communities around the world. This is me in India, and at that conference I was asked the question, what did peace mean to me? Now at the time, probably only my third or fourth peace conference. Now, the fact that peace conferences are a thing is really cool. But my answer was, peace to me is a sense of calm. Now, what does pride mean to you? And to me, the answer is, pride is peace. In the wise words of a famous drag queen, RuPaul, if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love somebody else? Peace and pride start with me. The Messenger of Peace program had something that I wanted to share with you guys today, and I think it directly relates to pride. So, are you ready for a pride revolution? Okay. I'd love you to all think about a moment of pride in your body, a moment in the past, or maybe something that you want to work towards. And once you have that idea, I'd love you to put it in your hand in front of you. And I'll give you a minute just to have a think. Now, it's a model we've adapted to actually grow and create momentum in peace and pride culture. And once you've got your idea, I'd love you to cover it with your other hand and put some energy into that idea of pride. Now, all pride movements all start when we come together and we share it with our friends. So I'd love you to look across the table, and if you're sitting by yourself, maybe quickly run across to another table, and actually put your hands together with a friend and share that idea. Now, in 2 words, feel free to share your peace pride journey, your little idea. Just share that little idea. Okay. Now, if we can all grab each other's hands and hold hands next to each other, that's when us forming a community. And imagine us being our little pride-thriving crowds, creating community at a table, and we look around us and we can actually see this happening across the world. And around us we've got a whole lot of different communities around the world that are creating movement and impact in what we want. And it's really great because we can borrow and steal ideas from each other. So when we communicate and connect through platforms like CreativeMornings or any other thing, we can actually share our ideas and create a better world. Thank you for holding each other's hands. Not finished. That was just a midway through to keep you alive. Yeah, so pride does start with me, and it starts with each of us. In 2017, I was doing lots with Scouts, but I needed pride to be built within me. And I decided that it was time to get back into music and doing something creative. I studied drama, art and music in high school, and really did well in them. Not that strategy and leadership wasn't creative, but my personal power of pride needed to be explored. I'd been in choir since I was like 8 years old, and had to leave a musical production in 2014 due to my commitments on the Scouts board. I received a lovely targeted ad. I was for Brisbane Pride Choir, and now I knew that I was gay, but I'd never engaged with a queer organisation before. I loved choirs, and I decided to take myself down to rehearsal and have a sing. Oh my God, it was like coming home. Finding community was fabulous. I was able to sing, meet other gay people, develop friendships, and actually have conversations and get to know stories of other queer people. The best bit was that you were able to see the betterment of other people just by singing with people who were like them, next to them. Being a part of the choir has brought a few of my gay firsts. Not my first time, but yes to my first Pride March. We'd organised to sing some songs and march down Brunswick Street, and the issue was that I was sweat with emotion and had a giant frog in my throat and couldn't sing. We were marching in what happened to be my first Pride March after the Yes vote, which for me was exciting and emotional, but this is a march that I was joining that had been happening for decades. Brisbane Pride Choir has also taught me my queer history, listening to the stories from our members when we sing at different events around Brisbane, sharing not just our music but also our personal stories. Brisbane Pride Choir does celebrate 25 years together this year, and we've been thinking about the history of LGBTIQ plus people over the last 25 years has evolved to today. 25 years ago, being 1998, homosexuality had only been decriminalised for 7 years. HIV and AIDS stigma was largely still around. Same-sex civil partnerships were only allowed in 2012 in Queensland. Discrimination laws to protect us, or some of us, were only introduced in 2013. Same-sex couples were only allowed to adopt in 2016. Equal age of consent laws were only passed in 2016. Historical sexual crimes were only expunged in 2016, and same-sex marriage was only allowed in 2017. 2021, Queensland formally included the ex-non-binary option on marriage certificates. None of these facts that I talk about, or figures, talk about the flourishing LGBTIQA plus people, because we're busy fighting for our rights. The statistics that still exist today. Currently, 42% of LGBTIQ plus people hide their sexuality or gender at social events and community events. And maybe that's why this room's not full today. 60% of young LGBT people between the ages of 14 and 21 years old felt unsafe at secondary school. LGBTIQA plus people are 2.5 times more likely to have been diagnosed with a mental health condition in the last 12 months, and only 16% of bisexuals are out in the workplace with everyone that they work. You can help. I'm really glad that I was able to use my experience and skills to support the work that we're doing to create safe places for our people at Brisbane Pride Choir. In 2019, I joined the committee as a secretary. Some people would just call me the secretary, but it's more like relationship management with our partners. It's chairing meetings about change. It's about building capacity in our people. It's about getting to know the LGBTIQA+ community and gaining critical funding in a very underfunded community. It's event production or even a producer. It's a lot more than taking minutes. But is it work or is it purpose? When I started, we had 35 people in the choir, and nowadays we have over 70 people registered from every single aspect of the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, intersex, queer, and ally community. Through our diversity, we create impact. We provide spaces for, remember to click that. We provide spaces for our people to sing and create music. We write and commission music about our stories. We create spaces for chosen families to find each other. We celebrate our diversity every day, and especially on days like today, being Wear It Purple Day. Each performance has a reason for us to be there, not just teaching our audience about our lived experiences or the lived experiences of LGBTIQ+ people, but teaching our members that they are valued, wanted, and cherished in a world that does want them to thrive. Creating places and safe spaces doesn't just happen. It takes conscious, repeated efforts and personal commitments to openness and joy. Thankfully, our work is wrapped in a solace of music. When thinking about what you do, how will you own your pride? How can you amplify pride for others? And if you haven't already, when will you start? I do love singing, and I do like the lyrics of this song here. We're singing at the moment in choir, and I really thought it would be really cute to finish today by having a little sing of this one line, and we're going to repeat it 4 times. Is that okay? Yes, let's have a sing. So, we do have some members of the choir here today. But that doesn't mean that you can't sing as well. So, I think to sing we need to stand, be in our body. So let's stand. All rise. Now, how are we good with clapping? We're good with clapping? I don't actually clap very well, but that might just be me. So, repeat after me. What have you done today to make you feel proud? 3, 2, 1, go. What have you done today to make you feel proud? Now, if you're in my Pride choir, you need to sing about 10 times louder, because we did pub choir a few weeks ago, and one thing you do there, it's therapy, it's cheap, and it's really good, and it's loud, and screaming really helps get all of it out. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. What have you done today to make you feel proud? Okay. I think that's great. Perfect. Thank you, everyone. Yay.